You know that specific friend, right? The one who texts you saying they are 5 minutes away, but you know for a fact they haven't even put their shoes on yet. They are likely still watching a video, or perhaps they genuinely operate in a completely different time zone than the rest of us. Mentally, we all categorize that person as someone who views time merely as a vague suggestion rather than a hard rule. But here is the reality. There is actually a fascinating, hidden psychology behind chronic lateness. And believe it or not, behavioral scientists suggest there isn't just one singular cause. There are actually 5 distinct psychological profiles that drive people to be late over and over again. Some of these are amusing, some are deeply rooted in our subconscious, and one of them is going to completely surprise you. Let's break down the psychology and see which profile fits you. First, we have the dreamer. These individuals operate under a powerful cognitive bias. They genuinely, wholeheartedly believe they can accomplish 10 significant tasks before walking out the door. They tell themselves, I will just take a quick shower, whip up a full breakfast, organize my bedroom, walk the dog, and still be out the door by 8 o'clock. But then reality hits. It is 10 past 8, and they are still standing in their closet, debating which socks align with their spiritual vibe for the day. You see, these people live in a fantasy version of temporal reality where every task takes exactly 5 minutes, regardless of physics. They will even initiate new projects when they are already running behind. They might think, maybe I should fold a load of laundry before I leave. Psychologically speaking, they suffer from a condition known as time optimism. Their brain actively edits out the transitional friction of life. They forget about traffic, they forget about the time it takes to find their keys, and they replace those memories with an idealized timeline where everything flows perfectly. It is not that they are disrespectful of your time, it is simply that they reside in a parallel universe where 10 minutes of clock time somehow equals an hour of productivity. Next, we have the intentional late one. This profile is fascinating because they actually have the capacity to be punctual. Everything is prepared. Their shoes are on, their bag is packed, and they are literally standing at the threshold of the door. But then they stop. They sit down on the couch to scroll through their phone because, apparently, leaving early feels like a violation of their principles. They might rationalize it by saying, I don't want to be the first one there, or arriving early is just socially awkward. Their favorite internal mantra is usually, the hero always arrives late. From a psychological perspective, this behavior is driven by a craving for control and social status. They view punctuality as a form of unnecessary pressure. Being early makes them feel exposed, vulnerable, or judged by others. By arriving late, they ensure they make an entrance, rather than just an appearance. It is a subtle, subconscious power play that says, I do not rush for anyone. Then we have the overthinker. These individuals are not late because they are negligent. They are late because their internal monologue refuses to shut down. They get trapped in a cycle of, what if I am wearing the wrong outfit? Or, what if people stare at me? Or, what if I forget something critical and look incompetent? They overanalyze every micro decision until the clock simply runs out on them. Psychologically, they are dealing with acute decision paralysis. The fear of making a suboptimal choice physically slows their momentum. Their lateness stems from high-functioning anxiety, not arrogance. They arrive late not because they don't care about the meeting, but because they care far too much about how they will be perceived within it. Fourth on the list is the rebel. This person knows exactly what time it is. They know they are late, and frankly, they are proud of it. If the group consensus is to meet at 7, you can bet they will stroll in at 7:45, relaxed, with a coffee in hand. They will deflect with comments like, relax, I operate on my own schedule. But deep down, this behavior isn't about time management. It is about autonomy. Psychologists refer to this as reactance. It is a primal instinct to resist anything that feels like an imposed rule or expectation. To the rebel, being punctual feels like an act of submission. They refuse to be controlled by the clock or by your schedule. They want to own their time. For them, lateness is simply an act of rebellion disguised as casual confidence. Finally, we have the overloader. This personality type usually possesses the kindest heart, but the absolute worst executive functioning. They will agree to help a friend move apartments, bake a cake for a party, clear their email inbox, feed the neighbor's cat, and fix the office printer all before noon. They say yes to every request, and consequently, they end up late to every commitment. Psychologically, they struggle deeply with people pleasing and guilt avoidance. They have a profound fear of disappointing others, so they keep agreeing to tasks, falsely believing they have the bandwidth to handle it all. But here is the hard truth: time does not stretch just because you have good intentions. They aren't necessarily bad at managing time, they are bad at boundary setting. They simply cannot say no. So, now that we have broken this down, I have to ask, which one are you? Are you the optimistic dreamer, the status-seeking intentional late one, the anxious overthinker, the defiant rebel, or the exhausted overloader? Or perhaps you are a dangerous combination of all five? If you honestly think you don't fit into any of these categories, then I challenge you. Tell me what your type 6 would be. I am genuinely curious to see your theories. And if you are wondering which type I identify with, go ahead and check the pinned comment below. I have already confessed my bad habits there. If this analysis made you smile, reflect on your own behavior, or just gave you a better understanding of that one friend, please hit that like button and make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into human psychology. Now, seriously, look at the clock. What time were you supposed to leave?